Right. So there's a guy at the park, right? And every time I walk Disa, he's one of them people that forgets that he ever spoke to you in the first place, you know? So he's basically got this dog, right? And it's called Gigsy. And every time he sees another dog, he's like, hey, yo, Gigsy, what's this, Gigsy? Gigsy, what's this? He always moves on to the next sentence, right? And he's always like, watch him in a minute. And no happens. It just basically, the dog gets tired of like trying to get attention from you. And then he just walks off. He's like, watch this in a minute. And then as soon as the dog starts watching off, he's like, I told you. And then he does that proper like smoker's laugh as well. He's just in the background, just like.
One day, mate, you're gonna not watch, and the dog's gonna do a fucking backflip or something.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be amazing. And you're gonna be the guy that missed it.
Dude, he's just so over the top about his dog, and I love it. I love it.
Everywhere has one. There's a guy who used to do it. Well, I haven't seen him in a while, but there's a guy who used to do it round by me, and he every time you'd have a conversation with him, it'd be the same conversation.
Yeah.
And he'd always say, "Oh, I can tell you're not a politician." and he'd say, "Why?" Because you talk out of your top lips as opposed to your ass. Like, that was the joke. And it'd be the same joke every time, and I'd have to laugh like hysterically, like I'd never heard it before.
yeah. God damn it, man. Yeah, some people are stuff. And I remember when so there's this guy who used to work with called Donald, right? And it was one of them people that proper considered himself a hustler, even though he was working for the same shitty company as me. You know, so it was like, yeah. So you see, you kind of saw through it because you knew how bad your job was. So it's like, so you kind of saw through it. Anyway, he used to quite like me because I had such a I can't be arsed attitude, right? But when I was at work, I couldn't be arsed with, like, you know, the exams you have to do and stuff like that. But then as soon as it came to like the time when I needed to do something, I kind of pulled it off. Do you know what I mean? That type of stuff. Yeah. And anyway, this guy Donald heard me on the phone one time with this old guy. And this old guy basically told me this joke about, it was one of them proper long-winded ones, you know, that just go on forever. And he basically said, oh yeah, I walked past this thingy and I saw this picture and it was so expensive. It was like £120,000 or something like this, right? And I'm not going to tell the whole joke because I fucking forgot it. I wasn't listening. But his joke was that he stole this photo that were worth all this money.
Right.
And then he basically said that then he got like convicted by the police for stealing from an estate agent. And his joke was that it wasn't an expensive photo, it was just a picture of a house posting that was, the house was up for like 120 grand. And I was like, dude, I proper pretended to laugh just because I couldn't be bothered with talking to him anymore. And like, I came off the phone and immediately my smile just went into full on straight face. Like, Donald were like, dude, I thought you were genuinely having fun for that thing. And I was like, nah, I hate people and I hate customers. Like, and you were impressed with it, man. But yeah, that's all it is now. It's just faking being happy, speaking to people when I actually genuinely hate it. So, any customers that have ever spoke to me, if you thought I did a good job, I probably didn't. I'm just good at talking to people sometimes.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that.
Yeah.
To be fair though, like, I don't know, I kind of forget that I have to try sometimes. Like,
yeah,
sometimes you get customers like bitching and complaining and stuff like that, and I'll just forget to say like sorry, because you know when it's like not your fault.
Yeah,
and there's nothing actually really gone wrong, and they're just bitching anyway.
Yeah, the worst thing ever is like, your company is proper cocked up with this one. Have they though? Or have you just not paid your bill, mate? Dude, it's so true. In the previous episodes, right, and honestly, I'm much more up for these episodes because I was speaking to somebody that I used to work with called Kayla, and we always used to talk about proper graphic things that we probably shouldn't talk about, like at work. You know, oversharing. That's what it's called, isn't it? Oversharing.
Right,
Yeah. She's
something
a proper...
where you're like, are HR going to be in touch on Monday?
Oh,
we don't know.
I've got a proper funny like something I did at work. I've got to tell you. But like she was basically saying like you need to not give a shit when you're recording a video because in real life you don't give a shit. So why change? You know?
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, dude.
Mate, to be fair, I'm a bit zoned out watching all these tires come flying towards you.
Yeah, dude. I don't know.
I forget things in this game get cursed by the crab monsters as well, as opposed to just people. One of these missions, a house is going to run at you or something. I'm just waiting for it.
Yeah, dude. But that's what I was going to say about my at work. Do you know when I said that I do things that are just like stupid, but then I'm afraid to discuss them on video almost. So there's one time we got an email about like a personalized cup as like do you know one of them no plastic schemes or whatever? So we basically was going to get this designed cup for ourselves, and what I put on there was, because you could only have so many characters, I put boner coma on the thing, and I got a message from like a HR lady. And basically, honestly, so somebody was actually looking through these and they was like, oh, put that name on there. Oh, Dan, that name on there. And then she just comes across Bonacoma. Dude, and dude, honestly, and she like messaged me, but she remained like, I'm saying, she was professional about this, all right? She was professional. And she was basically saying it in a really nice way, like, "Oh, your actual name's Nathan? How about how about we leave it as Nathan? just like
how
it
about
was
we take away the boner part?
Take away the boner part and then the coma part.
Yeah,
and
then we
name.
add the Nathan part and minus the coma part."
Anyway, she was like, I was like, no, I want it as Geralt. She just put updated now for you. She must have loved speaking to me. I'm not joking.
That is so funny. Someone's job was to go through all of those.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just find it hilarious that somebody actually cared. She said it doesn't read work appropriate, and I didn't know what to say because I was like, I don't want to get fired yet. I at least want to like get another job, you know. So,
yeah.
So my
you want to be on,
was
like,
to
your
just
first
say,
warning.
"Oh yeah, it was just a nickname of mine once." I was like, "Who has the nickname Bonacoma?"
Bonacoma. They are two polar opposites, aren't they? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bonacoma.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, once I went into a coma for 7 days and I just had a boner straight for 7 days. I don't know why that'd ever work out, but yeah, so that's how that went, dude. But I'm forever doing stuff like that. Like I've done stupid stuff at like all my jobs. I remember, did I tell you about the wedding cake?
No.
So, you know when I worked at Marriott when I was in Coventry, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
I was trying to think when you'd have been in contact with a wedding cake.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Dude, this game's intense. So, oh my God, is that like a boss? Is that a BIOS? So, basically, wedding cake. I had the task of they were going to take pictures with it at the front on the stage, so they brought it up to the stage and all of this stuff. Yeah, and I had to carry it off with like a senior or manager, and dude, I pretended to slip when I had this like cake. I was holding this table, but because I like pretended to slip, my manager nearly slipped because of it. So I nearly proper got it. I nearly fucked it up.
Nearly ruined someone's whole wedding day.
Yeah. Just because I wanted to make a funny joke. Because everybody was like, oh. Dude, that's like the most... Isn't that the most English thing ever?
He's so fucking English.
Yeah. Oh. So then I just pretended to... Oh, dude, it was great. Yeah. Yeah. And dude, I did some like funny stuff at the hotel I worked at. I worked with this guy called Jared, and dude, me and him was just, you know, when you get them work buddies that you just like, it changes how you feel about the whole job, you know, like you just not as you should be when you work with this person.
Yeah.
Oh shit, got hit. So this one time,
I mean, that's why teachers had what's it called, like seating layouts and stuff in classrooms, wasn't it? Because you would always sit next to your best mate and do fuck all the whole lesson.
Oh yeah, dude.
And it was great.
Oh, I'm struggling a little bit here, I'll be honest. But yeah, dude, I remember
it's
one
okay
time
to not be okay, Nathan.
We went into like a room on like a dinner time, an empty room at school, and you know the smart boards he had? My friend threw a chair, meaning to hit me, right? And basically, he threw it and it hit the smart board. It hit the smart board, dude. So he threw this chair at this whiteboard and it like, dude, I'm surprised the chair leg didn't go through it, but it left a massive dent on it.
Holy shit.
But yeah, that was probably like, it would have been an expensive kind of thing if we'd have got caught, you know.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, and I thought you'd appreciate this whole thing as well, right? So one of my neighbours is just like a few doors up. He's got a sign on his front gate that says "No stupid people allowed," meaning like this clearly means like what do you call it? Like you know, like cold callers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, people that have that sign up immediately come across as stupid people to me. Don't you think? Oh, that dodge though. But yeah, it's
They used to have that sign at my old job. I used to work in a
dude,
in a bookshop, and you're fucking shit, Nate. I'm not even.
Honestly, I'm so stuck, man. It's like I've got to kick these barrels back, but sometimes it just doesn't work as well as other times, you know. I've got it this time. Watch this.
Come on.
Forget about that.
Maybe not that one.
Wait, fuck, dude. This is I think I've got like I forgot how to throw grenades. Right, 1 second. that was even worse than the other times.
That was much worse than the rest.
Yeah,
I have to admit.
I'm having a sip of wine. 1 second.
What wine are you drinking? Red?
No, it's one of them stupid.
I was thinking you don't come across as a wine kind of guy. In fact, I don't think I've ever. In fact, actually, I think I've only ever drank with you once.
Yeah, dude, once. Yeah, that sounds about right. Actually,
cider, I think.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
I'm only drinking this because it's just what we've got in the house, man. Like, I'm only drinking because it's my birthday, like on Monday, but I'm working on Sunday and Monday, and I absolutely am.
So you have to have some sort of celebration. Well, I'm glad you're celebrating with me and only me.
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, dude, I'm working on the day, and I honestly hate my job so much. I can't even. Honestly, the other day I was done with it, dude. I was like,
oh, dude, the amount of jobs I've had.
I finished work and I was like,
this is it. I'm quitting. I fucking hate this stuff.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I could. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, I was. The other day I was at work, and when I finished, I was like, yep, I really, really hate my job right now. I think it's because when I started, it was supposed to be something else. And obviously, because of lockdown, they had me doing stuff that I would have never have had to do, you know? So it's just proper crap, boring stuff. Yeah. So, yeah. I hate it. And people are like, oh, you should appreciate you've got a job. No! Just because I've got a job does not mean I have to enjoy it at all, you know?
No, of course it doesn't.
It's not how it
Of course
works.
it doesn't.
I am
What's the best job you've ever had?
working in a fish and chip shop because I only have to work with one person at a time, right? And I actually like the people that I work with. Like when you're in a big company, there's such a high chance of you working with people.
There's a lot of cocks, isn't there, in big companies?
Dude, I can't do this part. Wait, how do I throw like grenades and stuff? Can I figure this out, please?
I have to say, I seem to find a pattern when I ask people what their best job was. It's always the shittest job as well. Like, in terms of like anyone else would look at it and think, oh, that'd be shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I used to work in a kennel.
Kennel.
Yeah, I used to work in a kennel. Basically, like apart from walking the dogs all the time, the other half of the time would be cleaning up shit, basically. And anyone would think that'd be like the worst job in the world.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's got this simplicity that you just don't get anymore.
Yeah, with anywhere else. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
here's the thing as well, dude. You just do your job and you get on with it. But in because we're in call centers, right? There's so much negative. There's so much negative feedback in these jobs that you just think like, you know what, screw this. I just work, and then it's like people moan at me anyway. They're always bringing out a new process and all of this stuff. So screw it. Like, I'm not excited to work in this anymore. Basically what it is. In the other episode, I was so nice to people that work in like call centers and stuff.
I know, man. I
I
was there just full on ripping into them, saying how shit their job was.
Dude.
And you were just like, oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah,
oh,
well,
what
I've
if
changed my
What if they
fucking
love
mind,
it so much?
all right?
Oh,
I've
my
changed
name's
my
Nathan, and I'm a biker, and I'm really soft still.
Dude.
Stop being a pussy, Nate.
I had 1 week at work, right? 1 week at work, came back, and I was like, yeah, I kind of hate my job a lot now. Yeah, dude, I was done. Oh, no. You know why it is as well? It's just because I have to speak to customers. I hate speaking to customers. I just want a job where I don't have to speak to nobody. Like, I don't mind working as a team with other colleagues because they're in the same position.
Yeah,
they get it.
They hate the job as well. So
Customers are selfish.
Yeah.
Absolute selfish dickheads. That's what they are.
Anyone who hasn't worked in this job, like we said previously, is just going to think, wow, what a bunch of twats.
Yeah.
Like,
And I don't give a shit.
Trust me, you wait till you work in a job like this, guys. Anyone that's listening to this and trying to judge us on our opinions
even people
on
that
the
work
human
there,
race, which
even
is an
people that work there, dude.
awful race. The human race is the worst out of all species in the world. I mean, they're just awful people. Awful things, creatures, whatever the fuck we are.
Yeah.
And you will only learn that when you work in a public service role.
Dude, I was saying as well, like, I was even saying like people that work there shouldn't like know this, but I don't get how people can work in these jobs. I don't get how people can actually do it. I don't understand. Even the people that I've never had somebody that full on enjoys it, but I think it's just they've kind of settled for it, you know. And I was saying in the last episodes, like I don't want to put anyone down, but it's like so many people I've met that could be doing better for themselves.
Agreed,
you know?
Man. Agreed. Absolutely. Like there are, like you say. I mean, you never want to put anyone down because of their job. Like, absolutely not. But at the same time, like, there's so many people that I've met, like, in these jobs, like, brilliant people that could just do so much better.
Yeah.
Like, on a level, like, they really could. Like,